Actually, my dad bought that, like, God, probably over 15 years ago now. And it was sitting at the family cabin for a long time, and that's when it went from this kind of orangish, reddish color you can kind of almost see there, to this odd green color, which I kind of prefer. And as you can tell, it's been sitting for a moment because it's got moss and lichen and stuff growing on it. But, well, we're going to make her sea-ish worthy, at least Saginaw Bay worthy. I want to go out for the whitefish. And you got to go way out for that, so I got to make that thing more than just paddable. I got to put an area where I can put a tiller motor on it, and then more transportable to get to the bay. Which brings us to the other project, the truck. I actually found the firewood when I went out to go shooting a new gun I bought. She's a Savage and she's awesome. And then today I went out and picked up the pressure treated to put a canoe rack on the truck. Splat on it, so look at that going here. Alright, so you got things kind of set up. We're about to get things going here. First I'm going to rip down these kind of deck pieces so they're a little slimmer, and then we're going to use those for the kind of in-between area. You'll see what I'm talking about here for the framing of the canoe holder, which will also make for a lot of other storage and usefulness for this truck. So we'll see how that goes. I'm happy that I have extra wood. This was stuff I actually bought on the purple sale. It's like 70% off. I don't need this honker or this 4x4. Hasn't quite made it to the supply rack, which I guess I should do that. But anyways, there's a reason why I need that piece for going as a footing, I guess, for the uprights. You'll see. Actually, it's amazing how hot it is today, and we're getting along here. There's going to be one more full decking piece, or whatever you want to call it, that's going to be run across here. Still going to figure out what kind of space I want to have. Ooh, excuse me for that. And still trying to figure out how I want to make sure this back area is more accessible. So if I need to load up the Vespas or something, we have room and we can make it work and still make sure that everything's structural for speed and whatever. I don't really go on the highway. Fastest this truck ever goes is really only about 65-ish. I can't really remember the last time I had this thing up 70 miles an hour. So I take care of it, and hopefully we'll have it for a very long time. So. The rest of this build, which turned out really good. I'm fairly happy with it. It does everything it needs to do. It's very supportive. It doesn't rack or crack. I had to use Forstner bits to recess the bolt heads a little bit because they were a little too shallow for how much thread I'd like to grab. And things got a little wonky sometimes. They're a little, like, this one's a little deeper, and that one, you can tell that they got a little off because the drill I had kind of kicked it, and it was, there's the other one's even uglier over there. We won't show that. But no, overall, it's awesome. It's a utilitarian work truck. What more do you want? And hopefully, if I did everything right, it should last as long as I have the truck, or as long as the truck lasts. Huh? How you doing?
I hate my glasses.
Are they fogging up?
No, I just get hooked on things and fall off.
Oh. Well, bless you for doing the wire work, because I hate working with this wiring shit. So it's a pain in the ass. But the chickies will appreciate it. They can get more room soon.
But yeah, there's one more there, and there's
Really, if you take that wire I gave,
this right here is what I was talking about.
oh, that's pretty small. But instead of trying to patch it with pieces of the screening, that wire I gave you, you can just start lacing it.
Yeah, anything could have shimmied down this trunk thing.
That one, yeah, those ones aren't I was concerned about, but I was getting there. Like I said, I wasn't done yet. It's the whole thing. Wire's a pain in the butt. Like I said, I'm pretty sure the spot over here I did was the main culprit for the last time. Yeah, and I can't wait. Actually, I think I'm going to change the door location completely. I haven't really decided. But it's kind of a thing. Again, I hate working with this wire. This one, it kind of works. It's just a little bit of a low bridge. I like the creaky sound and the gloves that are the hinges. Yeah, classics. So, I got the truck underneath the lean-to because it might rain today, and I had a couple of days to dry out. And I really actually was going to wait a little bit longer before I finished putting the finish on. I started putting the finish on. however you want to look at it. So I got most of it sanded. I didn't get a lot of footage of that, and I got a little bit more to do, and I don't think I'll have the cameras out for that, because even the GoPros I'm afraid to get all dusty and unfunctional, and I'm running out of money for that kind of stuff. So this is pretty much what it will look like when it's done. I might need a couple more coats. This is where we started from. I'll get another shot of this too in a minute. This hasn't been sanded or anything yet. And this is sanded. As good as it's going to get sanded anyways. And this is sanded and all teaked. Alright. Everything's sanded. Ugh, fairly de-dusted. And now we apply the oil. That's all there is to it, I guess. Just lots and lots of oilage, you know, that I'm getting everywhere. Not what I wanted. Really trying to drizzle it. Really, it sounds like it's better to lay it down, let it really soak into the grain. So in a perfect world, I would take this all apart and redo it. I'll take it all apart, lay it down, and let it soak in that way. And then put it back together. That I'm not doing. Yeah, this is where I had started in a sense, and you can definitely see it's taken in some more in some spots. They're a little drier looking. I don't know if it's because of the way I applied it or if it's just the way the grain runs. But yeah, it's gonna need another coat or two. The next, no, we'll see. Supposed to get rain the next few days, but I have to wait. But it's a hell of a lot more protected than it was. Well, I gotta rearrange things, obviously, but yeah. And we're back out. It's easier this way or that way. Let's take a little of this guy. This guy is falling. So, big old gap right through here. 4x4 I gotta fix. This just evidently is a thing. But yeah, it's okay, chicken babies. It's okay, chicky babies. Joan and Happy Feet, of course. Those are Master and Blaster right there, I tell you. Happy Feet, I think, is pretty smart. And Jones just was originally the biggest one, and she's still kind of one of the biggest ones, but I don't think she is the biggest one. But she became the biggest chicken as they know it. So. All right. What's the next thing? Oh, yeah, I gotta get those spots. Where? Oop, bop, shabam. Should. I said it's got a wire that pulls through there. Really, I can't imagine anything moving that anyways. That little arc piece, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that. Oh, I'm loving the sun right now. Just loving it. It's so much fun doing this stuff. I hate wear, but it pays off for these little buggers. And hopefully this will work out all in all. Last flock we had, they just got decimated in just, I don't even, like 2 months of coming outside. Possum or raccoon or whatever just came through and killed everybody. One by one. So that's why we gotta button everything down nice and tight and make sure, like this area here, I don't know. I want to put some more something on that spot too. It's getting ridiculous, but you know, a hungry animal will find a way. Hey Joan, what's up, girl? So the one getting to drink is Happy Feet. I got another the big metal hopper of water that's underneath. You really can't see it in there. And I'm actually going to bring in a couple other water holder hopper features. So when they were originally out in the main yard, there's 2 other things that are just kind of out there that collect water. I add a little bit to from time to time, but for the most part, it's just all natural. That way, there's many water sources. Hanging it like this to mix reviews. Sometimes they get rambunctious and still knock it all over the place and spill the water out. But in theory, it helps keep them from kicking stuff into it, but sometimes they still do anyways. So I try to spread some high, some low. And why it's really important to have like a bunch of different places for water is chickens can forage for food. You feed them once, even every other day, they might be hungry and not like you very much, but they'll be all right. Water, on the other hand, they will die pretty quickly without a good water source, especially when it's really hot out. Like anything over 80 degrees, they go a full day without water. That's a problem. There it is, water basket. So this was actually the cooler top for the Coleman canoe, which we'll be doing more for that here very soon. And I don't really use it like that, and it doesn't tip over, and it holds water really good, and they like it kind of scurvy and scuzzy. I mean, it's all just kind of sitting there right now. But that's kind of my plan. I'm going to give them kind of like this perch of dried, sun-bleached wood. Well, kind of bleached. That's been just over here in the no man's zone that I'm going to turn into beehives, hopefully soon. You can't see through the fence. So I'm going to see how it goes. I'm hoping to get it to poop out enough from the fence and everything so they have room to perch their big butts in there. And so that's what I've been working on now. Which really wasn't a plan, but it seemed like the thing to do. See if these big honker fours will grab something. Let's see. We got that. Stay for now. This thing like that. It's nicely footed. All that weight. And it's obviously kind of leaned into everything, so it really shouldn't go anywhere. Yeah. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Not a lot of viewers do. And at this point in time, I'd like to share about like what's going on in present time, because when you're watching the actual episodes, you're about 3 weeks behind my actual present day. And each episode is actually a week chunk of my life kind of condensed down to anywhere between 12 and 20 minutes ish of time. And I put out a new episode, excuse me, every Friday. So if that sounds interesting to you, because you never know quite what's going on, like for instance, I have a canoe trip coming up, and I have another trip after that where we're going to be going to the Cook Dam site and just kind of hanging out there and exploring. And then I have some really big news that I've just closed on some property on an island called, French pronunciation the best I can, Bas Blanc, or they call it Boys Blank, or the biggest nickname, which I like, is Bob Lowe Island. Not to be confused with the other Bob Lowe Island, which is near Detroit, and I guess used to have like an amusement park and stuff on it, but it closed in the mid 60s or something like that. Anyways, so if any of that stuff seems interesting to you and you want to see how this all goes over the course of one full year, please do subscribe. I'm not 100% sure that I'll stop after 1 year or what I'll be doing, but I'm kind of pushing myself to do this week to week installment. So if nothing else, I'll have one full year of my life to look back on as I get older. So that's kind of the main project for me, and to share it with those that are interested in watching it. So I think that about covers everything, and I guess I will see you next week. See you then. Take care. Look at this place. Look at this place. I'll just show you here. Alright.